It's time for ignition and straight up automobile pimping.
Dude, where's my car?
And welcome back to the 6 a.m. show. This is
Dude, where the fuck is my car?
Dude, where's your car, dude?
I don't know.
Hey, no, sorry, it's a PG.
Okay.
Yeah. We're allowed like...
Shut the fuck.
We're allowed...
Only in Chinese.
Yeah.
To le loma. Hey,
Hey, ni hao.
I'm Tom. I'm sitting across from my lovely, wonderful, charming co-host, Tony. And sitting in between us, like the cream in the Oreo, I have Dexter. Dexter, man, how you doing?
I'm good, man. Thank you for having me on the show. I'm very excited. I'm very keen to get this podcast starting.
Bro, we're excited. I to be honest, I can't wait to get into the section about where we talk about your whole build process and pains and aches and migraines and churning tummies and maybe getting your appendix out of what it took to make your S15 what it is today because it's a hell of an interesting story. But dude, how you doing? What are you up to?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm just chilling at the moment. I've actually got a little bit of time off work.
Why?
I injured myself at work.
Yeah, do you want to tell us why?
Yeah, so I accidentally drilled into my hand when I was at work. I'm an electrician, so I was up in a roof, really dark, and I was just drilling into a unit, fitting a new part, and I lost my footing, and I slipped, and I actually drilled...
So you fell through the roof, but you drilled yourself to it.
I didn't fall through the roof. I slipped on like one of the timber beams.
Okay.
And I accidentally went into the drill, with the drill, into like the webbing in between my pointer and my thumb. So I'm a bit stuffed and I got surgery on it. So
that's a hell of a payout.
So I'm on workers' comp at the moment. So I got a bit of time off. So this is perfect time for a podcast.
It reeks of time just to work on your car.
Yeah, that's what I actually have been doing a little bit of work, but nothing too major. I did a lot of work beforehand to get it ready for the show. We'll get into that.
Yeah, we'll dive into that. Can I just ask though, you said it was in poor lighting. Did you buy like an Audi drill? Because last time I checked, drills have like a little light on them.
I actually got Makita gear. I know some guys are going to be like Milwaukee, but I'm a Makita guy.
Sydney Tools kind of do.
Yeah. They got the deals. The deals is the main thing.
So Black Friday is a real thing, right?
So it's good. It's good. But just poor lighting and bad footing and stuff like that. So it's not too bad.
Well,
it's all right.
You seem to be in ship shape. So
I'm not too bad. I'm usually pretty, energetic,
Couldn't tell, dude.
Or a big gym dude. I try. How many times you hit the gym a week?
Currently with
he's
being
actually
off
been
work,
honest today.
Currently with being off work, I've actually been able to go a bit more, but obviously not doing lots of stuff which is gripping because obviously my hand's getting back. But currently I'm doing quite a lot, so I'm normally in the gym for up to 3 to 4 hours.
What?
Yeah,
in a session?
And normally
you enjoy it, eh?
Yeah, I do. I really like it. It's been my therapy.
So you like do it and then you're like editing TikTok videos and there?
Well, actually, when I'm at the gym, I'm pretty much smashing it. Like I try to.
That is serious.
I actually am pretty serious. I'm actually trying to. I will get into that a little bit later as well, but I'm actually trying to start up like building up my more so online face of myself and gonna be building my car TikTok and building up a car TikTok and then also building up a personal TikTok with also fitness stuff as well, because this cars and fitness are some of my biggest passions at the moment in life.
Shit, dude, this is what it's all about.
Yeah, so these are my two really main things. So I want to focus in, and I super enjoy doing all the work on my car and then working on myself.
Did you just see what happened? Tom and we both just looked down at our guy.
I was legit just about to say, it's like, this guy's fucking killing it with health. He's just put a drill through his hand and I'm just about to go.
Oh, that was crispy.
That's health.
No, well, guys, I'm more than happy to have more people come and join me at the gym. So if any time you guys do feel like that. So,
you know what? Yeah. I'm going to not try smack on health too much, but like I fucking seriously dropped the ball, and this guy's been calling me lately. I finally got back in the gym. I'm about a week and a half in because I need to sort my life out.
Yeah, man.
And it's all about just the onus is on you, bro.
Yeah.
Like I'm fucking always out of time. You got to make the fucking time. It just means I have to get up an hour early to fucking do it. That's it.
Yeah, sometimes it's hard just getting to the gym and eating a lot of the right foods as well. That I find that's also a big thing as well. Like just making sure your diet's quite good, and that's a real thing that I like to make sure that I'm on top of.
Can I just say, I feel like you have what is it? Are you natty? You're Chris Natty.
Yeah. Well, I currently am. I am all natural at the moment. But
At the moment.
No.
There might be, maybe in the future. We'll see how I go.
You're missing what I'm saying. I feel like you naturally have the physique to just have muscle. Like you are a really energetic dude, so you burn nervous energy. Whereas mine just wants to fucking kick back,
dude,
chill out in the Eskimo and just watch the footy.
Yeah, man. It's definitely what you're doing as well, and also with my work, I'm burning a lot of calories in a day as well. So it is actually quite hard to eat how much food. At the moment, I am trying to bulk at the moment, so I am trying to eat in a calorie surplus.
It's the wrong season for that.
Yeah, I was about to say, isn't it a cutting season?
For me, I'm always.
He's always. I just want to get big. I want to get swole.
I'm actually quite lean because of the work that I do, so it's actually quite hard for me to, and also my size. Like I'm quite, I'm not the tallest guy, but so trying to build up a bit more muscle and like a bit more, gain some weight is. I've been trying to do it for quite a while, and I find it quite difficult to eat as many calories as I need to.
Fucking
You're
borrow
just
some
wearing
of
the wrong
ours.
size shirt today. I think you're on a medium. You normally are a small.
I know. I was trying not to show it up. No, I'm trying to stay humble. But I do take that quite seriously. So I am trying to dive into that a bit more. But with the work that I'm doing, I find it quite hard. So it's actually, I've really enjoyed having this time off because it allows me to actually make car video content and also trying to make some fitness content as well. And that's probably the hardest thing because I do need that time at the gym, especially if I'm setting up like a tripod or something like that, and also being in a busy gym and stuff like that. So it is hard. Just bust out get that confidence to bust out a camera and then start, so I'm trying to
do it.
Do you film at the gym as well?
I'm trying to, but I'm trying to build that up now to get to that as well.
Surely there are just times in the day though where there's fucking no one there. And
You'd be surprised. Like I actually go to Fitness First, so it is quite busy all the time. If you went to another gym, I'm sure you would find a little bit more calmer times. But I find where I go is quite full on.
He's not going to give away the locale because then everyone's going to flock there from this one. He's a good-looking, handsome dude. I never realized that handsomeness and cars could go so well together. Like I
thank you, man. I appreciate it. But I think we're all pretty good-looking guys. Myself, no homo, I swear.
we won't name the Hot Imports girl that came up to you. But he did score a Hot Imports girl's number. Who came up to him, not the other way around.
It was definitely the car had the majority of the riz there, but we had to slide in and.
I don't care how much of a percentage the car fucking won over the deal.
The car's yours. They're all yours.
That's right. But that was fun. I really enjoyed going to that show with all you guys as well. I think we had a great time, and that was a lot of fun for sure.
It was a huge statement because. I suppose it was really like the first time, like we've been wanting to get you out. We've been trying, we'll get into this. We've been trying to fucking make your car happen for that long. And then that was like probably one of the biggest events of the whole year at Hot Imports Nights. And you got to kick it off with the biggest event ever. Yeah. It was fucking sick.
That's normally how I try to do it. Man. I try to kick it.
One and done.
Yeah, it's pretty much like, it's been actually like that for the majority where it's been that sort of one and done thing. I get it ready for a show and then I just get fucking defected.
Well, I'm keen to hear the relationship and how it worked, especially with Tony, because Tony's got the mastermind of how this came together. You were the culmination, and Tony was the master of puppets. Yeah, let's say
I definitely couldn't have done it without Tony and A&B Auto, the guys down here, because the whole thing since I had the car. I have honestly only been coming to these guys. So I've known Tony for quite a while, building my car and building a good relationship. And that's probably another key thing as well. When you're building a car, you really do need to know people because otherwise it gets too hard to do it all by yourself, especially with getting into a bit more of the car show stuff and like trying to get stuff properly aligned and making sure it fits properly. I know that Tony spent a lot of time like after hours trying to dial in the fitment for my car. But
let's talk about it. Let's start from the top.
Yeah.
Let's start from how the fuck did you get this car?
Okay, well, do you want to take it another step and just say how I got into my cars?
You had a mum and a dad.
Yes. I'll go right back.
Because you should have met
go
him
way back.
when he had. I don't think that was your first car. When I met him, he was in. You was,
yeah.
Okay, I was out with a bunch of boys. We're cruising out to Palmy. And then over on the radio, there was some boy who's like, "We got another mate coming." And then it's like, "Where the fuck where is he?" And next thing I hear this fucking fuck off, like, I don't know, 5-6 inch exhaust, fucking just roaring down. I could hear it, but I couldn't fucking see it. I could hear it from a mile away. Next thing, this guy fucking flies by us, loud as hell. And the man's like, "Yep, here he is." I was like, "What on earth is that?"
Yeah,
it was like a
for reference, it was a little 1998 Mazda Metro. So it's this little like box car from like Japan. So it's like kind of like a key car. And man, it was like a very cool boxy looking mini car. So I ended up getting that. But beforehand, before I actually got that car, before I even met Tony or anything like that, I was first trying to get my license for my car. And I wasn't always, I definitely was nowhere near into cars when I first like got my license. And I accidentally like got into it because I also had my dad, and he's a bit more of the old school car scene guy. So he loves like all the old American muscle cars and like everything like that. And he was like a real going to the drag strips when I was little and stuff like that. So I was old school. I grew up on like some of that stuff, but going through high school and stuff, I wasn't desired for cars and stuff because I wasn't at that age to get a car. So I wasn't really looking at it, but I was around it with my pop and stuff like that. And then when I got my license, I started actually looking at like cars that I wanted to get. And then I slowly got into checking out like all the older Japanese cars because that's what I love. And also I played like a couple of like the old Forzas and like the Need for Speed Underground and stuff like that. So I used to play those and kind of coming in, coming out. And then the first car that I went and saw was a 1989 Toyota Celica.
That's my boy. That's my fucking boy. That's my car.
Yeah, with the pop-up headlights. Oh. So that was the first car that I actually went to go look at. And at the time, I had no money. Like I was just working like a couple odd jobs and stuff. I didn't have really a support like where my parents were giving me money at all. So I had to supply all the cash for a car. I didn't get any support.
Welcome to life.
Yeah, legit. So I was like looking at it and I was like, oh, this car's up for like $2,000. And I was looking at it and I was like, this would be because it was red. It was a bit clapped out and it had some issues. Like it needed rego and it needed tires and stuff, but it wasn't major. But man, I just looked at that car and I was like, damn. So that kind of got the bite in me to like start looking. And then obviously I couldn't afford that at the time. So I ended up having a look at a couple other cars like a Mazda MX-6 and stuff like that. I always actually, now that I think about it, they were all red. I didn't actually intend of making my car now red, but...
Dude, I told you, I kind of want a red car.
Yeah.
It's either going to be white or red.
I know, it's kind of getting to that point. Yeah, because it pops out, it just stands out.
He surprised me when he said he wanted a red car. So we're going through all the colors. He probably sent me every single color except red before we went to the wrap shop.
Yeah.
Then when he goes in, Mike gives him the color swatch. I was still unloading his wide body kit into the shop. Yeah. Next thing he's like, I picked my color. I was like, wait, what? I was like 5 minutes. Like when I was picking my color when you guys went, I was there forever. I was like going through colors after colors.
Bro, this took weeks.
This took weeks. And I couldn't make my decision until they made it for me when they changed the color of my car to the color I wanted.
Yeah, so that was...
now it's red.
Yeah, now it's red. And it's a very nice sparkly red. So
it is a very nice sparkly red.
I do love it. I'll do it. We'll get into that. But so I ended up not really getting into cars. And then I got my little Mazda. And then I came out and eventually met Tony and stuff like that. And I got a couple services done on it here at A&B. But then, unfortunately, I enjoyed that car for about maybe getting on to 2 years. I enjoyed that car. It was perfect for a run around, just doing working as a Woolies employee. So it was a cool little car and all the seats as well. Really cool feature. the front seats would knock down, the back seats would completely go down. So it would turn into like a double bed in the car. The whole car would turn into a bed. Like you knock it all down, and it's literally, you can lie across the whole entire car. It was really cool. So I had a lot of fun in the back seat with that car. No, I took it away and had a good time in it, and it did serve its purpose. But then I ended up getting into accidentally aquaplaning, and I was going 30 kilometers.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I aquaplaned into a curb, came around a corner. It was only just range, so it was like slippery, maybe a bit of oil. And then I ended up hitting the curb, and I just looked at it because I think I paid like 15 to like $1,800 for that car. And I looked at the damage, and I was going to be at least $1,000 in that.
See you later.
Yeah, so that ended up going to the tip. So I was without a car for quite a while. And then I ended up, I secured my apprenticeship to become an electrician. And then from that, I was actually able to get a loan out from the bank, and I was actually able to have a look around for a cool car, because that's what I wanted to get. Like I as soon as I could hear that I could get a bit of money and then not need to pay as much back on it, because they have a scheme here where you can get really good cash return if you get a loan. So I ended up doing that, and then I ended up having a look for about, I think it was close to a year. I was looking online for the perfect car to start off with.
It takes time, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does take time, and I was having a look at a lot of cars. And I actually, before I decided on the S15, I was looking at the S chassis, because I just fell in love. So over this period of time, I'm just falling in love with the whole...
Nissan is just your thing.
Yeah, well, the whole JDM culture. Like I do like Subarus and stuff, so I was kind of looking around, but I couldn't find anything that I could justify spending
50 grand on to make it run.
Well, at this time it was about 2019, so it wasn't like it was something.
Oh no, I just mean to make it run.
Yeah, I do. I have a couple of mates that have Subis, and I do agree. You need a bit more cash in the pockets to get them going to where you want them. But I ended up looking around, and I was looking at like S13s, S14s, and stuff like that. And I was actually set on getting an S14 for quite some time, and then I just got to a point. I was looking at it, and I'm like, if I'm going to S14, why not go to that next step and go for an S15? And I was like, damn. And then I started looking around, and I managed to find this one on Gumtree. Gumtree's the go for sure. Like,
No shit.
I've bought all my cars off Gumtree.
No way.
I've bought my Mazda off Gumtree. I bought the S15, and then I also bought my motorbike as well on Gumtree.
All off Gumtree?
Yeah, all off Gumtree, man. And
I thought Gumtrees were scams.
No, dude. I actually, that's the best experience I've had with it. Like, Facebook Marketplace is okay, but I'd probably steer clear of that. I've only seen kind of rip-offs kind of pop up on there. I've had really good, it might be different for other people, but I've had really good experiences on Gumtree for sure.
Full disclosure, Gumtree does not sponsor this podcast.
Yeah, no, they don't. But I'm just saying, that's just my experience with it. So I found this one, and I managed to secure the loan, get it all sorted, check out the car, got it checked over by an on-site mechanic, like an NRMA guy, to come out, have a look at it, do a mechanical check of the car, check it all out. And it came back pretty good, so I was happy. And the car is super clean. I bought it with 150,000 Ks, and I picked it up for...
That's not bad, you know.
150,000 Ks, and it had existing mods on it. So it had already had an upgraded turbo, had a front mount intercooler. It had core packs, slightly larger cams, exhaust at the time, and turbo timers and stuff like that. And I think a bigger fuel pump as well. But so I had a couple really nice goodies on the car, but it was bone stock. Like, it was the pewter grey S15 to start off with, stock wheels, but it had the engine had been done up. And I was looking at it, I was like, okay, it looks pretty good, promising, making some good power, like nothing too crazy, but at this stage, I'm still on my red peas. So I'm looking at this thing, I'm like, yo, this thing hot as anything that
You're not allowed to drive them on your piece, are you?
Well, this one...
Or is it the year?
Yeah, no, this S15 it's a Spec S. So Spec S with the turbo 6-speed. So these ones are actually legal in Australia.
No fucking way.
Yeah,
For P-platers?
Yeah, for P-platers, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, P-plate
No
legal.
wonder all of them are gone.
Yeah, no, they've all been snapped up. So I picked this up, and I actually got it off it was this Arab guy. He was a younger guy, and his dad the whole time was over the top. And at the time, I had my girlfriend at the time. She came out with me, and she was helping me grab the car and everything like that. Drove me out there and checked it out because it was out at Liverpool. It was out of Liverpool. Yeah, so it was a bit of a drive out.
I'm starting to put the pieces of the puzzle together.
Yeah. So you can kind of get the picture from the guy. But his dad was like, we were haggling on the price and stuff like that, what he wanted to sell the car for. And his dad was like, just sell it. He wanted it going because I think the guy had obviously lost his license on the with the car.
In some bad debt.
Yeah, so I think he passed it on to me because the exact same thing happened to me when I got the car. I ended up losing my license with that car. I did. That's a little bit further down the lot, but I picked up the car. I loved it, and I was absolutely straight away. I fell in love with the car, and then since then it's been a slow process, but obviously on apprentice wage to like sort of get it to where I've got. I think I did pretty good. I've gotten it pretty far.
Yeah, 100%. It sounds like commitment and just like easing into it over the time, actually getting to enjoy the process rather than just trying to slam it all in.
Yeah, it was definitely I built up a very big relationship with this car. It's the first car that I've sports car that I've built myself. I did a lot of the work by myself as well.
Yeah.
And with Tony's help, but I've done a majority of it by myself as well, and a good couple of mates as well I can shout out for.
That's what it's all about.
Yeah, so they definitely helped me out a lot. I wouldn't have been able to do it with a lot of my other friends giving me a hand doing some of the things like wide bodying the car and stuff like that. Yeah,
this is what I want to tackle. I can't wait to tackle the bits because there was every part you did, because this is where I chime into the picture, and I met you and I found out what's going on. It's like every part you did, there was a huge shortfall, and it's but we've got to do this now. And
it was months in between stuff at times. It was genuinely like that.
It's like, we got the wrong wheel, so now we can't. So now
it was a lot like that. So we ended up. So I had the car for quite a while and no issues at all. I just left it as is. And then what ended up coming up first, just being an SR. They have issues sometimes if the oils aren't regularly serviced on these 2-liter 4-cylinder turbo cars. They ended up they lose too much oil in the cylinders. They get dried up and they seize up the engines and in the cylinders and stuff like that. So that did end up happening with my car, with the first motor. And I took it to Tony and it broke down on me. We had to get it towed to the shop. And then we ended up needing to replace the motor. So we got something that was similar in the kilometers. The SR, same thing, but just similar Ks. And then we ended up swapping all the mods over from the old engine, put it on, just fitted it all up. And then I had to upgrade the turbo as well and the clutch at the same time. So motor replacement, motor swap, turbo, and then clutch.
That's an expensive job.
Yeah, so I think that came up to that was at least 10 grand. And that was getting on to a better part of 6 to 8 months.
Yeah.
So there was a long break in between where the car was just it spent a lot of its life at the shop.
Yeah, here at KS.
And it genuinely, it has. But
I remember I would go up to it and I would just put my finger across it and be like, that's 4 months.
It's like a couple of dash marks. It's indicating every month.
It's TG was here, 2014.
Yeah. So we ended up, after that, I got the car back, motor was done, and that was great. So kept running for a while. And then I believe I managed to save up a little bit of money after spending that much on the motor. I ended up spending a bit of cash on some tires at the time, so just some cheaper rims, and put some semi slicks on it. It wasn't a great look, but it was cool to me because it was
your thing.
My first car, my first doing some mods to the actual exterior, the looks of
mods is like a baby.
Yeah, that's right. So it was special to me, and I like it, and it was a bit of a monster truck at the time because but I enjoyed it, and I drove it around for a lot longer. And then actually the next thing so every time that I'm sort of doing stuff to the car at this point, it's been maintenance stuff, but then I'm upgrading it at the same time. So did an upgraded. So when we changed the motor over, I did an upgraded turbo. It's got a T28 hypergear turbo in it now. So it's not anything too major, but it's like good power. It makes plenty of boost for the car. Currently I'm running about, I haven't changed it too much since then. I think it was running a lot more boost. I think the guy before me had it cranked up. He was running about 18 pounds of boost.
Yeah, just on normal driving.
Yeah. So I've turned that back down. I'm running about 13 pounds on low boost, and then high is about 16. I don't want to push it too hard because it's plenty of power. It makes plenty of noise for itself because it's got an external wastegate as well. That's been welded to the stock manifold. But it's got a straight dump out with a screamer. So it makes every single noise that you want an SR to make, for sure. Like proper doses.
Yeah. Can confirm.
Yeah, can confirm that. Soundbite. We'll
use that as the transition.
So, and then after I got the wheels and stuff like that, I ended up, the suspension ended up giving out on one of the sides. I think it was the rear back. It just ended up shitting itself. So we
enters Tony.
Yeah. So here comes more money. And then it was kind of a point of like, okay, what do you want to do next? Do you want to put it back on coils or do you want to put it on bag air suspension? And I was having a think and I was like, well, I do want it to be lower. And I would like the ability to still get up and down like steep driveways and stuff like that and not have to worry about scraping my front bumper bars and stuff like that. Because that was what I was thinking. Because if I lower it, I'm going to be scraping on everything. I'm going to be smashing shit up. And I don't have the money to be, repainting and all that sort of stuff. Because at the time, the car was, it had been resprayed, the pewter. And it was beautiful paint. Like I really babied that car for sure. And I still do now. I try to look after it as much as I can. Because it's got a lot of love that I put into it. A lot of sweat and tears for sure. So I ended up going for the bag option. Got the bag on air suspension. I absolutely fucking love it. Like I do. And people say, oh, it ruins the drivability. It's a bit squishy. And, people say all this and that about air suspension. But I've honestly enjoyed it the most. I think it gives me some of the most joy. Like getting able to like lower my car, and like kids also love it as well. I love it when I can see people on the side of the road and I see like little kids like pointing and being like, oh, that's so cool. Like and that makes me feel very happy because I feel like I was, obviously that's with a lot of car guys as well. They can relate to that. I always, if you guys see me on the road, I'll always give it some. If somebody goes, oh my God, like I love doing that. It makes me smile. I think it makes a lot of other people smile. So that's what I love. I do. That's my little guilty.
That's the shit that makes you get up out of bed in the morning.
It does. And it makes me feel so good. Like and that people also enjoying my car as well. I think that's really cool. So after I ended up doing the bags and stuff like that, drove around. We're obviously going to meet. A couple more little things pop up in the car. Being a 21-year-old, 20-year-old car at the time. Still just little things like alternators and stuff going. Left it like that.
Alternators.
What was it? It was what ended up. We needed
the alternators. Every time we go out to a show,
it would.
He's like,
was so funny.
Is he like you right now, where you need to recharge your battery every time you turn the car off?
No, we were waiting to get the alternator replaced for his car every time we go out, and it was only at shows that it happened. Yeah. His alternator wouldn't kick through. Yeah. So I was there tapping his alternator while he's trying to crank it to get it to kick. It was so funny. We like got things and we're like shoving it into the engine bay, trying to like knock it around to get it started. It was pretty funny at the time. It was a little bit like, oh my God, it's not gonna start. But it's towards the end of its life. It was sometimes it worked, sometimes it wasn't.
Yeah,
it was always at shows where it didn't want to kick over, and it's the worst times.
Yeah. Come on, we're trying to get out of here.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, wait, come tap my alternator for a sec. Let's go.
So that was funny. So we've had plenty of experiences with the guys as well, like with little bits and pieces of the car. It's a bit quirky, but I love it. And then I actually ended up being like, it's on air suspension now. I can actually go into looking at some decent wheels now. And that's what I was looking at. And I was like, oh man, like some 3-piece wheels. Cause I was checking out all this hella stanced out cars at the time. And I really got influenced because I was looking at this company that's over in Japan. called 326 Power, and they're a big company over in Japan. They do a lot of really crazy stance builds with lots of wide body kits and lip kits and stuff like that. And I was looking at that, and I had like one of this particular style of like S15 that I saw with this wide body kit and like lip kit and everything like that. And I was like, wow, this thing looks absolutely insane. And then I was looking at
Just some dude walking on the roof.
oh, okay.
I have no idea.
Yeah, okay.
Tell him to shut up. Go out there.
Okay. Get the fuck.
I'm trying to do a podcast.
Yeah, yo, got the potty on right now. So I've lost my train of thought now.
Three-piece wheels.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
just mentioned the
Wide
company.
body.
They do amazing shit.
Yeah. So I ended up.
This is story time on today's potty.
Yeah.
I know, I love
got
it.
the big time. So I ended up.
Better than going to a fucking Kevin Hart stand-up special. This is fucking great.
I can keep it. I got stories for days. So I ended up having a look at these SSRs, SP1s, I believe they're called, like the
SSRs or RSR?
No, SSRs. So
Okay.
yeah, another Japanese wheel as well. They were very cool. They were like a gunmetal grey with huge lips, and I was looking, and I just went. I saw this these guys that had this sale on for them, and I just looked at it, and I was just like, I'm buying these. And they were like a stupid size as well. They were literally like the biggest size that I could get. They were like 18 by 10 and a half at the back with like a offset of like plus 18. And then it was, the fronts were like 18 by 9 and a half.
I can't wait to hear what Tony has to say about this because I have a feeling it's what he told me.
Yeah, because I was just like, hey, Tony, fucking make it work. Put it on. So that was cool. So I ended up actually buying them, and I did a bit of test fitting and stuff. And Tony just looked at it, and it was just like, "What the fuck are you trying to do, bud?"
He told me he test fitted, and yeah, they're close with a bit of work. So of course he didn't drive it down with the brought the wheels down, and people say they don't know if they've test fitted, and there's a bit of work needed. A little bit of work for someone means it's fucking a shit ton of work.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So we were looking at it, and it was like, "Oh, you need to get wider fenders now." And I was like, "Okay, we can work with that." So
No, we didn't say that. We did say
Yeah.
sell these wheels off and buy a proper cell measured off.
That was the first
yeah,
option.
true. And I went, "What's the second option?"
You were like, go fuck yourself.
Yeah, I was pretty much like,
He did come back saying, "Yep, he's selling them. There's potential buyers here and there, and another set of wheels will come in." So we're like, "Great." And then this was a couple months. Like,
Yeah, it was
nothing
over
was
a
it like for
couple
this build. It was never a rush, which was the best thing. Like, okay, some things you just all went off and bought, but it was like it wasn't on a deadline. Everything was very easy. It was like there was a lot of time to work with.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
which is the best thing.
I wasn't really like smashing it for getting ready for a show. I was honestly just
Yeah.
doing this for
your own
myself.
sake.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I genuinely just wanted to build and make this car look really cool. Because I felt like I already put a lot of time and effort into making the engine and mechanically fine. And then it was like I hadn't actually been able to do any of the actual like getting it to look cool, like the exterior modifications. And then this was like getting into that sort of show ready sort of stuff that I had this image in my head.
You had a goal. That's good.
Yeah, and it was a real drive for me to get to this point as well. So
Which is a surprise for me every day.
yeah, it was like Tony, like, we can make this work. Don't worry about it.
No, we'll get wheels.
Yeah.
Next thing, hey Tony, I just bought a wide body kit for the car.
Yeah, I was like, can you see the pattern where it's just like, oh, I just bought this when it should have been like, hey, Tony, does this work? Okay, it does. Okay, I'll buy it.
I got sick of that. I was just like, I'm doing what I want.
You know what I've learnt? Auto electrics are rich.
Yeah,
they got
yeah.
money.
Yeah.
Hey, yeah, my bank account doesn't like me too much. But saying that, it's like
It's all about cash flow, man.
that cash flow being
in and out, in and out.
Tell them about what happened with the body kit as well.
So yeah, I actually ended up ordering it straight from Japan to come over here, and I ended up they actually sent me the wrong one. So there's two types that they had up on their website, and they were quite close. The ones that I got were called like I'm probably butchering this, but it's like the Gachibara medium type 2 fenders.
Dude, your Japanese is flawless.
Thank you. So they were these medium 2 fenders, and a slightly different style that I really liked because the one that I was looking at that was over in Japan, very seamless, doesn't have rivets or anything like that, and it accentuates a lot of the body lines that were already on the car. So, and this was me like planning this for months. Like after the point of the wheels, like I was already looking at these fenders, and then it kind of just was like, oh, I can get these now. I was like enabling myself to be like, now I can build it. Put a wide body kit on it. So those fenders and stuff actually came from the Type 1. So slightly different. They've got like dips for like the rivets and I just was looking at it and I was like, I could make it work, but I wasn't happy with it. So I ended up getting in a bit of a battle with them, trying to like organize to send these back to Japan and like, what am I going to do? And all this sort of stuff ended up coming through, but we ended up working it out with them. And then I, ended up getting my fenders back, the right ones, and I was absolutely ecstatic for this. Like I was so happy on the look of these ones, and I'm so happy that I went through the whole debacle. So this was over like a couple of months as well. So it's all like slow process, like getting these parts and stuff sorted out for the build. And then I ended up finding, also I got a lip kit as well for the front splitter, side skirts, roof wing and rear diffuser as well for the car. So all by 326 power. So I ordered a lot of the styling. Was
proper JDM.
Yeah, like it was proper like, and they did come all from Japan, all the whole wide body.
That's what I mean. It's
parts.
proper.
Yeah, it is proper.
Overnight part from Japan.
Yeah. So, and that was really cool because all the pieces actually ended up fitting pretty much straight on, and it was a really good fit. So if anybody's looking to actually get the quality of that, also not sponsored, but
Use my discount code right now.
It is. You know what?
Well, hey,
It's true, but because like we were building like this BRZ track car at work, and we had to get this new hood because we were having fatal overheating issues, and we didn't know what to do. We had to fix it because like fucking Subi Nats and all that type of shit was literally days away.
Yeah.
And we just needed to know that what we bought fit. So we had to get it from Japan to know that it was like proper, like, no, it fits. Every clip, every bolt, the way it sits, there's no fucking around. Like this thing is going to work. And it's funny. You hear stories all the time. It's like, it's always stuff from Japan that works just like that.
Yeah.
And it looks fucking mean as well.
I think it's the quality of the parts.
Yeah,
Like,
100%.
If you spend the money on like good, genuine parts as well, like you're not going to have issues.
100%.
So I found that was really nice. Like maybe slightly, because it's obvious it was fiberglass, so slightly could have done a little bit better on some points. Probably could have done with a little bit of work, but overall the car, it fitted up really nicely. And then so the parts came in obviously white fiberglass, like ready to be painted. And then I was kind of looking at it, and at the time I was like, I already spent like that. Just getting the wide body was, I think I spent like $7 to $8 getting those parts just in, and I already dropped like $3 on the set of wheels as well. And then I was like, now I need to paint it, and I was like, oh. so now I'm looking at getting the car wrapped, and I was like, okay, sweet. So I actually ended up. Tony knows a guy, Ryan, and we ended up giving the car to him, and he did actually an amazing job on it.
It's phenomenal.
Oh, it's great. Like the quality of like what he actually did, because at this stage now, it was like, hey, we got a show coming up. We would like to get this into the show. And then we were like, okay. So he ended up doing everything quite quickly and really efficiently. He did a great job on it. And then the car was getting to a point now where it's like, we got the wheels set up. We've got the car wrapped. It's looking nice. And then we got to get the wheels and stuff sitting how we wanted. Now, at the time, we didn't actually have enough time to start doing the cutting of like the fenders and stuff for the rear. So it did look a little bit whack for its first show at the back, just because those arches weren't cut yet. So we had the wide body kit, but it was all a bit of a process. Like it was all a bit of a learning curve to get it to where it is now. But I like it, and it was a little bit. People were like, "Oh," I got some comments being like, "Oh, it's a little bit whack at the back," you know.
Fuck those guys.
Yeah, well, hey, I agree. It was a little bit. But
some of those guys are my friends. Fuck those guys.
Yeah. So, Anyway, that was the experience. But overall, I still really loved going to that first show as well with like a bunch of the group that we went with, and then also meeting a lot of people. And I had it overall, it was still really good. I didn't have anybody actually in my face being like, "Yo, this is fucked up." But I actually had a lot of really cool guys come up to me and they were saying that my car was really cool. So that just kept me, going into building the car. And then I eventually, after the show went well. So that was that the Hot Import Nights? That was the first one that we went to. Yeah.
Yeah, I was Hot Import Night 2021.
2021, yeah.
Yeah, when I was still at the jail.
Would have had to have been.
Yeah. So we went there and that was fun. And then after the car got back, I was actually able to took off the back wheels and I was actually able to start cutting with my friends, like angle grinding out the old arches, and then we ended up refitting new like pieces up and like properly doing it and like getting, making sure it was try as much to reduce the risk of like rust on the inside panel.
For sure.
I don't mind. Look, at the end of the day, I wasn't too fussed anyway, because it's like I've got the wide body on there now, and it's like I'm gonna have a wide body on there. You know what I mean? So it's all, and I think I did quite a good job, and I got some other guys saying that I've done a pretty decent job for doing it myself as well with a couple mates in my garage. So we did a good job on trying to get it all fitted up, and now it's fine. So it sits quite good at the back and we can drop it down really low. So now it was on to a point to get the fitment right on the car. It's because it wasn't exactly how I had it envisioned for having it stanced out. So it had the big wheels, wide body kit, but it just wasn't stanced out yet. So then we ended up getting into like I had to get upper and lower control arms so we could push out the back of the wheels. So and that came up, but then I was also looking.
They look sick though, by the way, because
it looked really
because the car's so red, you can see the blue.
Yeah,
you're like, oh yeah.
Yeah.
Are they hard race, by the way? No, they're KS ones.
Yeah, KS ones.
All the hardware and stuff. So it sits under there, and it's great stuff. But I was also looking at the brakes, because it just had stock brakes and stock calipers. And it's just
not enough.
Yeah, it wasn't enough. It wasn't enough. Because
this was still those set of SSRs that he just, for some odd reason, never wanted to give up on.
Because I liked them. I thought they looked really cool. I really, because they were like my first like expensive wheel as well. So I was like, wow, these are, they were really cool. Being a 5-spoke and huge, ridiculous
they were great.
dish.
They did look great.
Yeah.
Yeah. You just needed more money to make it work.
More money.
The right offset. Just the right offset.
Yeah,
just needed to rubber bank.
Make it fit. I think we were running at the back by the time. So I ended up being like,
just for reference, I didn't put those on. Dexter did himself.
Yeah, okay.
So we were looking at this as well, and I was like, I need bigger brakes. And then I went to Tony and I was like, let's get the biggest set of brakes that we can get and put them on there. So I got KS Racing 6-pot at the front.
Fuck yeah, you did. And if anyone knows anything about big brake kits from KS Racing, these things are fucking massive.
Yeah, it's huge for like the SRs. Like it was like they are filling up the whole wheel well. They are.
But you know what? They
looks so good. But they're like bright gold, and it looks so good. It actually goes really well with the red. Yeah. Like the combo is quite nice.
Can I say just on that though that I wasn't just aware of the anodized color material, like anodized metal, or whatever the fuck you call it. Like I'm so used to seeing like a plain base red
gloss,
Brembo or
like
gloss.
Yeah.
And then when you brought out the fucking like little key ring set of anodized colors like purple and gold and blue
like
and red.
Flaky. It's like got this really nice metallic-y flaky look to it. Yeah. They're sexy colors. They look really good.
They do make your car pop though.
Yeah, so that was also another thing. It was like deciding on the color to go for that as well. And I was like, a red. And I was like, nah, that won't look. I think it was going to clash too much. I thought. So I went, let's break it up with a bit of gold. And then actually on the tank in the back for the compressor, it's actually at the back. The pumps have got like gold on the pumps as well, on some of the valves. So I've tried to like tie in the colors.
You tried to match a theme.
Yeah, I was trying to do my best to try and get similar colors working throughout the whole car. So, and then I had to do the big brake kit and all the adjustable arms and stuff on that. That was a huge build.
You do, by the way.
That was like massive. That was like,
Yeah.
I think I dropped like 14 to 15 grand on like doing the big break kit. And
That makes sense though. Did you do bushings at the same? The control arms would have come with bushings, right, Tony? Did you do any other
Control
bushings?
arms came with the bushings. We did the brakes. This was all in that one Christmas hit, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So we did.
Oh, no wonder Frank was angry.
It was actually a perfect timing for us because it was just when we got that other shop, and it was literally like those photos you see where you set the car in the middle, you had all the wide body, we had it wrapped in those colors, and you just laid it around. I remember taking photos, like we're trying to get up ladders and trying to get the phones on the tripod to get right above the car with the body kits on the side, the wheels. So we did that, and then yes, it was. At that time, we were advised that the wheels could fit big brakes.
Yeah,
that's what
right. Yeah,
you were told as well from some source or the seller or whatever.
Yeah.
And then, so that's what we thought. So as soon as we put it on,
it was definitely one of those moments for sure. They did not fit at all. The calipers were smashing on like the rivets on the back of the back of the face.
And you're not going to machine that off. Fuck that shit.
No way.
so this always came back to
we ended up
fucking wrong wheels.
Yeah, so I got laid into from Frank. He laid into me for that. And then we ended up running the most stupidest size spacer on the back and the front. Like I was running, I think it was like a 32 mil or
Spacer.
Yeah, spacer at the back.
Do they make those?
Apparently, we managed to just get our hands on a set of those. So that was really interesting. So that was getting ready for the show, and now
I think this was all before that first whole import. This was leading all the way up to it, wasn't it?
No. Because that first import we hadn't. I hadn't done the wide body, like cutting into the actual stock body of the car yet.
Yeah, so we haven't been to a show. Yeah, the car hasn't been to a show.
No. So we went to the first show. We did that. So we went to the first hot import night, and then afterwards we ended up going to the next show, which was the one at the Sydney Motorsport. Do you remember that?
Oh yeah.
Can you trailer it?
Tuned International.
No. Yeah, Tuned.
Tuned. Yeah.
So we went to Tuned, and then that was like the big one that we got ready for the show. So that's when I was like fully stanced out, and the car was like running at the back -9 degrees of camber at the back, and then at the front it was like, I think it was it was pretty funny. It was, dude. It was.
Please put up photos of this.
We should try. Yeah, we'll have to get. I've got plenty of photos.
When we promote this episode, we'll put up some photos.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, for sure. Because it was fucking nuts, and it looked. Oh, I was really stoked with it because it was like
it was a butterfly.
Yeah, it was honestly like like that. But the front was also about -5 degrees of camber, so it looked very. It was fucking awesome. I loved the look of the car. Like it was actually a moment where I was like, wow, I've actually ended up building a really cool show car for myself. Unfortunately for that show, I wasn't in the best place position for showing off my car. I actually got sandwiched in between with a couple other guys, which was I was a little bit annoyed about because I kind of got sandwiched in and then kind of pushed to the side sort of thing. So I wasn't able to fully show off the car, and I don't think it got a lot of
love.
Yeah, I felt like there was a lot more. I was kind of hoping a bit more exposure to try and bring my car into a bit more light, to try and like promote and trying to get a bit more into the online car scene sort of thing, because that's like the biggest thing now.
That is what it is nowadays
for people that are our age. So it's trying to like bring it into that sort of thing, and which I was really interested to try and. I want to try and build up a bit more following and like trying to do it like that. Just because I'm also, I'm with a lot of you guys and a lot of the guys that are trying to build that up as well. And I just think it would be really cool to try and get my stuff out there a little bit more, because I genuinely do want to spread a good message as well.
Yeah.
To try and like, bring more people into building cars and stuff like that. And you can do it. I've managed to do it on a very, very hard budget, but it was something that I was super passionate to do. And like build this car and like go through the process to try and get it to this stage. And that was what's really driving me to get it to this point, I guess.
Yeah.
And also this image that I made of like this hella stanced out car that not many other people have.
The dedication is proven because you got to your goal.
Yeah, that's right, man. And I did it, I think. And also as well, as I was saying on we did a little interview at the latest Hot Import night, and I was saying that this kit that I have, the wide body kit, nobody else in Australia is running at the moment. There are a couple other guys running the 326 power kits and stuff like that here, but I'm not seeing anybody online with the one that I have at the moment. So at the moment, I think mine is safe to say.
Special boy.
Yeah, I try to build it in a certain way. So it is definitely like a lot of like trying to figure out what was going to work and like what I needed to do for the cuts, because there's nothing online because it's all in Japanese. So it's like, and there's not much the response you can get from guys. Like I was like, how do you install this properly? Or like, is there any instructions to like do this properly to email them? And they're like, yeah, just bring it to like an auto body shop and like
Bring it to a professional.
She'll kill me for this, but my niece speaks fluent Japanese. So anytime that we need something, we can just give her a call or just FaceTime her and just be like, read this and tell us what it says.
That's great. Oh, wow. So
she's going to kill me
I wish
now.
I had that. I wish I had that. Yeah, we didn't have that at the time. So it was a bit of a process trying to find out like how to actually do this. So it was like figuring it out by myself, you know, pretty much. Cause I didn't want to spend, cause we were having a chat to Tony. It was like to do the rears and do it properly, like the guards and stuff like that. You know, a shop's going to charge me. I don't even know how much. So I was just like, you know what, I'll give it a try with a couple of my mates.
I love that attitude.
Yeah.
I
It was great.
I love
That's what we told him. At the start, we were going through the conversation where if he ever did want to go back, or if he did want to sell the car one day, if he cuts it, it's gone. It's out the door. So that was what we were thinking at the start.
Yeah.
And then it was the point where he was like, no, I'll keep him in the car forever. He's gone that far into the build.
Yeah. I think
He'll be cutting it.
Yeah, and like I don't really get that. Some guys are like, oh, you know, you've ruined the stock car and stuff like that. And I see people putting it up for sale now, like cars like for a stupid price, especially the S15s. But they've got like 3 times the amount of Ks. And I'm like, why would you want to buy something that has my philosophy is whenever I'm buying a vehicle and stuff like that, I actually like things that have mods on them already, like the existing mods, because then it's not
controversial opinion, but I like
that's
it.
like, yeah, I've had this opinion for quite some time where it's like I'm not needing to spend so much money on like the basic mods. So I'm like, that's what I was trying to look for when I was first trying to buy the car.
And
was
fair
something
enough.
that was like slightly built, but not overdone where it's like I'm paying that price. But yeah, because otherwise doing like some of those base stuff for like an S15, like changing from, because they normally come stock with like the stock intercoolers and stuff, and like to get all that removed, it costs a dime, you know? So I was looking at stuff that already had slight mods, and like as well with my motorbike as well, that's had a bit of work done as well.
That was a sick bike.
Yeah, I've still got that bike.
Oh, it's not sold.
I've still got it. So yeah, I'll have a chat about that.
He's a little cheeky one.
Yeah,
He told me
I
I have to sell the bike to pay the bill.
Yeah, I've still got it. I managed. But it was actually really interesting. I actually had the guy that originally, so the second owner of the car that did a lot of the work on it. He actually hit me up on Facebook. It was
Oh, really?
Cool. Yeah, so he actually made a post in one of the Silvia group chats that I'm in.
He's like, where's my car?
He was like, well, he saw that it had been re-registered, and he was like, who owns this? And then I got tagged, and he ended up having a chat to me. So I know the whole history of the car now.
Yeah.
So it
That's
was actually bought by a guy in, I believe it was South Australia, and he had it for a while. So he ended up hitting me up, and he was like, oh, yeah, so what ended up happening, the guy had it for a couple of years, and then he ended up selling it to him, and then he did a lot of the base sort of stuff. So he actually got it resprayed, basic, you know, tunes and, you know, all the front mount and all those little existing bits on the car. And he did all that. And then I've actually seen, he actually sent me a list of like the build sheet and like how much he spent on the car. And then I've got all the receipts for the car as well. So since it's been purchased, I've got old dyno sheets, I've got all the old parts, services, and I have a whole book of like the old fines that everybody's gotten in that car. Dude, there is so many fines from people in that. It's fucking ridiculous. There is literally, I think I've got like...
because they're notorious for fines.
Exactly, notorious.
Notorious for cops.
It doesn't matter. So even this guy, so he had it for a while, and then he sold it to the Lebanese guy that I ended up buying it off, and then I bought it. So so there's only 4.
I fucking froth that dude.
How
I
cool is
know.
that?
I know where some of my old cars are. Like now, today.
Yeah.
Like I know there's a dude had like an old black old Ute.
Yeah.
And That's still in Cronulla. Like I know it. Like I see it. Like I'm like, oh, sick.
It's really cool. Yeah.
And obviously, I just sold the other one to Ashton.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I know where that is at all times.
Yeah.
Now. Mainly because people still think I own it.
Yeah.
So they send me videos all the time being like, I just saw you. And I'm like, no, you didn't.
It's not me. So I think that's really cool. So I actually know the whole history of the car as well. So it definitely wasn't like any bodgy jobs or anything like that. It hadn't been crashed and stuff like that. Which I really thought was really cool that I found out later on in its life that, you know, it's a very clean car. It hasn't been, you know, completely thrown in the mud and stuff. But obviously that Lebanese kid had his way too much fun because the engine ended up blowing up after I got it. So he had his fun. So, but then I got it and then I've been having my fun in it for sure.
Yeah, dude. That's noticeable.
Yeah. So since then as well, since that other show, I actually got defected because, you know, cops being cops, driving it around at like negative, you know, almost negative 10. Yeah. Yeah. Negative 10 degrees of camber. I did get pinned. But they didn't actually slap me with a red label or anything like that.
Yeah.
They should have, but they didn't.
They were just like sorted the fuck out.
I think the cop actually, like, it was being respectful and being nice and stuff like that. And I think he respected that. So he didn't completely stuff me, but he still did a number on me. So it was like the wide body, the wide body, and then being on. He didn't get me done for the bags and not being engineered, but he did get me done for my external wastegate. That was probably the main thing that he pinned me for. And then tint. He did me for tint. That was the main reason why he said he pulled me over.
What minus 10 are you running right now?
I think it's like.
Can't be worse
I
than
think
my
it's
old car
5.
because it's fucked.
I think it's 5, like -5 or something like that. Like it's literally
It's
like
dark?
it's pitch black.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and the only reason why he got me is because the motor reg on the right, the driver's side died. So I couldn't push it down. The left side was open. That's fine because normally I ride around with the windows down anyway, so it was never an issue. And then there's one time that I had it up. That's the reason that he said that he pulled me over. And I'm like this, cruising down the road. But I wasn't being dumb. I was literally just in traffic. And then he pulled
And
me
saying
over.
that this was the day after that show.
Well, and I think it was a little bit. It was like the first time that I took it out after the show. Yeah. Oh well.
These things happen.
Actually, no. I think I did drive it a couple times just to my gym, and I got to show it off a little bit there. But then, like, really going for a cruise and stuff like that, I got pinned, unfortunately. So that was off the road for quite a while, and then we looked at it, and we're like, I think we should change the wheels to something that actually fits the big brake kit. And then it was off the road for quite a while because we were looking at. I sold those wheels. And then I ended up having to wait until we decided on the rims and stuff that I wanted to put on the car, which was actually funny because I ended up now I've got a set of Koyas that got custom made for the car.
Oh, man.
Yeah, they're good. They're good brand. Not sponsored again. Just
It's okay. We get it. We like these brands.
good brands, good quality brand. And I got them custom made and all that. So we had to wait for them getting made. But before that, I actually found a set of just shitty tires on the side of the road. Didn't think too much of them. They were like rattle canned, sprayed black, and they were like a 5-spoke. They kind of just looked like a very basic sort of, you know.
You found them on the side of the road.
Found them on the side of the road. They were just left out, and they had like a full
How
set of
dare
tires.
you leave Gumtree like that, you motherfucker?
I know. Traitor. So I know I found them on the side of the road, and they had a full set of tires on them. So I was like, oh, you know what? This might be a bit of fun. I was with one of my other mates, threw in the back of his car, picked them up later, and then I was like, oh, maybe I can just flip these. I'll just see how I go, and maybe be able to clean them up, give them a fresh spray of paint, rattle can, nothing crazy. That ended up taking 6-7 months to clean off those wheels. Yeah. Dude, the first paint was fine. I got some paint stripper, put it on, and I was like, oh, wow, there's another color underneath it. Didn't expect too much. Black. And then it was, what was it? It was black, and then it was like this. Actually, what my color of my car now is like a sparkly red. And I was like, this is weird. So they were actually, I thought they were just rattle canned on, but it was like that sparkly paint. They were proper painted. oven baked wheels.
Red.
Yeah, red. And somebody had rattle canned over the top of it.
Wow.
They got a little bit scuffed up and stuff, so somebody's just spraying them black. But honestly, I got everything on those. Like I think I put over on each wheel, I put over a liter of paint stripper on. Each wheel. I had like
Soak.
I had like 4 or 5 liters of like paint stripper that I ended up having to get in a couple times because I was like, it's not coming off. Why the hell isn't this paint coming off? What is it? What is this made out of?
Yeah.
And people were like, no, it's just rattle canned on. It should come off easy. I ended up hiring a humongous water pressure cleaner.
Yep.
And I was like spraying the living hell out of these wheels with like paint strip on it for weeks. Like I was literally at it for weeks trying to scrape all this old paint off the wheel. And then I eventually got to the point where I ended up getting an angle grinder with a flappy disc and I had to angle grind them off. Dude, it took like literally 6, 7, 8 months to like get them.
Dedication on
I was
this
just
man.
like, I know, it was pretty ridiculous, but I was just like, yeah, let's give it a go. Let's see. And I got so far on it, I couldn't give up. I couldn't just be like, no, I'm not doing it anymore. And then I was like, okay, so I finally got it all base polished and stuff like that. It is on my Instagram. Like I'd made a little reel of like cleaning them up.
You crying and shit. Like
No, it's like literally like a maybe 10-second reel. It's months of work to get those wheels to like how it was. Anyway, so I decided to spray them white. Sprayed them white, and then I ended up putting them on. And I was like, the red with the white and the gold calipers, I was like, I really dig the look. Yeah. Even though they were completely wrong offset, the wheels and stuff like that. They were completely terrible, but I could just see the image of it. And then I was like, okay, I'll get these Koi. When we eventually got up to getting the new wheels, I decided to get like a 5-spoke design with the powder coated white, and I don't regret it at all.
No,
I really
dude.
like the look of it. It stands out now. It's very cool.
Dude, when you got big brakes, I don't know if this is like, if this is what people think, but in my mind, when you've got fucking big brakes, I feel like when other people see it, they know you got game. Like when you've got big brakes and you rock just a 5-spoke wheel, that's the shit.
Because you
like,
can see it. It's
oh,
great.
fuck yeah.
You can just see
you don't want to
that
cover
huge-
that shit up.
No,
Like,
after spending that much money on big brake kits, I had to like show it off a bit.
yeah.
Because it looks great, especially because it just the 6 pots just fill up the whole face of it. There's no gap. It looks.
It's half the fucking rotor.
It literally, but it looks so good. It fills up the whole wheel, and there's no like. If I get anything smaller, like a set of Brembos, they look weird. It looks weird in the wheel well with being a
Brembos
5-spoke.
are smaller, aren't they?
They are smaller, yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. Brembo does a 6-pot, but
yeah, but the whole rotor itself isn't just for like a standard Brembo, not like a humongous one.
yeah, yeah.
Something that you might see on like an Evo or something like that.
Yeah.
Just the stock sort of looking Brembos.
And then you got this motherfucker over here with 8.
Yeah. This guy's running like 22. Is it 21? 21 inch?
22 inch.
22. Yeah,
Oh, he's got 22 inches, guys.
They call me Mr. Home.
Oh,
Brakes.
yeah.
Needs to stop.
Yeah.
It's a big heavy car with a big dude in it.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, I remember when you're like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna get the biggest supercharger I can get and put it on this," and I was like, "Damn, Tony, all right, go off."
That was super controversial in the Holden space because everyone was like, you can't just whack a fucking Harrop supercharger on stock engine internals, and he fucking did it.
Don't tell me.
Don't
I
fucking-
already did it.
Yeah.
I think it's great, and it sounds awesome.
It will break eventually, but it still fucking works. We'll change it then.
Yeah, change it later on. Yeah,
Time will come. Time will come.
Time will come, and then we're all gonna have to fucking keep up with him because he's fucking
I know.
changed all his engine internals, and he's got the fucking supercharger on.
let's go on that. Yeah. So yeah, so I kind of built, and then obviously the car is at a certain point now where I'm particularly happy with it, and I've got some plans in the future where I'm definitely not going to drop any more bags on the car at the moment.
Except for money bags.
Yeah, money bag. Yeah. We'll see.
is already
I think in the future, I do actually have some future plans for the car. Coming into the following future in a couple more years.
Yeah.
Like I'd like to get back. For the time being, I'm actually going to have a step back soon, maybe in the coming year, where I'm actually going to do a bit of traveling, stuff like that. So I won't be so active on my car page, but that's why I'm hoping to get a bit more into the fitness stuff, and then I can sort of take that away with me as well. So I want to like sort of build a bit more of that online persona and stuff. So it gets to that point.
Yeah.
You know.
What's a future car that you want?
A future car? Oh man. That's also why I'm trying to do a little bit more online stuff, because I'd like to get a bit more of the following and like trying to buld something where I can actually.
Yeah,
make
but what
a
do you
bit more
want?
point.
What would be your dream car? What's the next car?
Where's the drum roll? I need a drum roll. Absolutely love. Like my dream car was the S15. Like it was like that. I feel like that's filled up a very good spot in my heart for it. But what I would really like is
Toyota Echo.
a Porsche 911 GT3.
Yeah.
GT3. Dude.
Yes.
Dude. GT3s look fucking absolutely sex. I love it.
I can't.
Any of the GT line, like the GT2 as well, like some of the older ones, they're such beautiful cars, man. So
I've said it before, I think on this potty as well, but I just think that car, and mostly most Porsche cars in general, but that car is just one of the best track cars in the world.
it's beautiful.
Just like
I
you
love
could go
the
any
colours
track in
as
the
well.
world, take that car, it will fucking nail it.
Flog it, yeah. I love the the turbo inline six that they've got. Sound amazing. They're so cool. So that would be a future car that I would love to get. Like that would definitely be up there for like my next sort of car. I have driven a couple of Porsches as well, and yeah. But they feel. I haven't driven a. Just to clarify, I haven't driven a GT3, GT4 or anything like that, but driven a couple of the 911s and some Carreras and stuff like that. And I can actually relate it quite a lot to like my car, like the S15. Like the handling wise, they are quite similar. Like some people would disagree, but I felt like after having that seat time in it, I was like, it's
You're dancing.
It's like got a little bit of a go-karty feel, so
Yeah.
you can kind of go around those corners, and I can feel it, that sportiness to the Porsche. But being in my car, because those Porsches weren't, I think one was turbo, but relatively stock, nothing too crazy. And going into my car just fucking, you get a lot more of that driving sensation though from those 90s Japanese cars.
Oh, dude, because you feel every fucking vibration from the road.
But I love it, man. I love it. I just going around corners, just slap it back into second and just come whizzing out of a corner.
Yeah.
Crazy, man. But I actually found the Porsches to be actually quite hard on the clutch to get it right. If you're not ripping it, if you're not coming off like a line hard, it burns the clutch. It burns the clutch on them, especially in the
Got to have
manuals.
such finesse. Like,
Yeah, it's really
it's a certain driving style.
you do have to get used to it quite quickly. On at any car with a manual as well, like you got to kind of feel out the car first. But just hopping straight, I've been driving manual since I could get a license, but I found that to be a little bit more tricky to get a handle of after singing it for one time. But I feel like I'm pretty good at driving manual, so I can get used to quite a lot of different cars and like how to feel out the clutch and stuff like that. And I just found them quite particularly particular.
So is that? Hang on. What's the future car then? What's the next car?
I still want a Porsche, like because they're autos, the new ones.
To be fair, you can get like an old school 90s Porsche
I'd
for like
love that.
20 grand. Like you can do it. No, like an
Are you
old school
checking out Gumtree?
FB Marketplace, motherfucker.
One without an engine?
It's a rolling stone.
Yeah.
No, you can. There are some old
Yeah.
Porsches. Like if you just want to rip and that's what you want to own, like you can actually
Yeah, like the
fucking do it.
Boxsters. I think.
Yeah.
You get them around 20, but nah, this boy, he wants the fancy one. He wants the GT2
I want the
3
I
RS.
want the-
I'm aware.
Yeah, I want the-
He wants to fucking.
He wants a big wang.
Yeah.
Either like something like that would be really cool. I wouldn't actually mind getting into something a bit more of the European car, but I think for the time being, like I have no real desire to get any other cars.
No, of course not. I just meant like just in the future. I mean, if you want to know what driving a European car is like, just ask Chris.
Yeah.
He's just all about it
Sitting
now.
behind the camera is just like but I think like getting the S15 was like
It's
for me it was like such a top tier thing to be like that smashed my goals to get up to like getting a 90s Japanese sort of car, and something that is now I don't regret picking it up at all, because like price of them has just gone up exponentially over the last couple of years. So it was a really good purchase at the time.
And it's also like the relationship you build from all the stuff you've gone through.
And that's kind of priceless
just from the
as well.
wheels.
Yeah, just
7-8 months.
Yeah. No, it was 7-8. Yeah.
That's just the whole build process.
Yeah, no, it was definitely something special to actually build my car as is now, and
It's definitely come a long way.
Yeah, it definitely has, and I think I've grown like as well with the relationships from being in the car. I wouldn't have met you guys if I didn't get into cars.
That's
as
true.
Well.
Yep.
So I've met so many cool people as well from building my car. And I have made some lifetime friends from being in the car community as well.
Yeah.
Which is great.
That's what it's all about, man.
yeah.
Okay, so here's a better question then for you, because if you can't tell me necessarily what the next car is going to be, tell me what your car was in Need for Speed Underground 2.
Oh, I loved the Mitsubishi, the Evos, stuff like that. That was definitely, I was actually looking for a long time into those Evos and stuff like that, because they were really nostalgic to get into something that was also that the all-wheel drive turbo sort of setup as well. Because my mum and my dad actually, when I was younger, they both had Subarus. So I was already looking at that sort of all-wheel drive turbo sort of stuff. So I was like, oh, I'd love a Rexy and stuff like that as well, just from being around that. And I was like, wow, these cars are so cool. And that kind of just evolved into that love of like 90s.
Tokyo Drift came out.
Dude, like all of those, like they were so cool. Like, and I really did fall for the 90s Japanese cars.
Yeah, for sure.
So. Than my dad, but I do genuinely really do like the older muscle car scene as well. I really like those. They're just too expensive. For
You're welcome at this
somebody-
table
Yeah.
anytime.
That's it.
They're too expensive for somebody that our age. But my dad had a bright green Tirana when he was young. Yeah. So that was he had a Tirana. He used to rip that. He actually flipped that.
What?
Flipped it. Yeah, he got in a car crash. He flipped that car.
That would bring. I would just stop
But
living.
but at the time when my dad, he said that you couldn't even those cars you couldn't even give away. Like all the old Holden Tiranas and stuff, you literally couldn't. That would be like a couple grand for like literally like $2,000.
How
for something.
times have changed.
Yeah, no, they have completely. Like my dad was saying, like if he could go back and buy like a whole heap of them, he would. Because he literally, they were like a couple grand, and you can get the sport ones and stuff like that. They had like the 350s and all those sort of engines. The 425s or something like that. You know, like all the bigger end, like the big V8, like big blocks and stuff like that. Yeah.
They sound so good.
Dude, they sound so good. So, and I do really like, because I'd love to also get into one of those. So another dream
Well, when
car-
we're older,
Yeah.
well, that's what we'll do.
I'm decking out like future plan is like a giant house at the front, and then at the back it's gonna be like a drift.
We all live next to each other, right? We all have our own houses with the garages.
Yeah.
It's
We're
actually
gonna
just
have
one big garage.
It's gonna be a humongous garage. We're gonna have like 5 lifts in that.
It's underground, so it rotates.
Oh
with
yeah,
cars.
we're gonna have like the rotating platforms as well for cars and stuff like that to come out of the underground. Yeah,
To be fair, at least the neighbors can't get angry because the neighbors are us.
yeah, that's right.
So if you're starting the car at 5 a.m., the only reason I'm getting angry is like, motherfucker, why didn't you wake me up so I can
we're
come?
about to drift this motherfucker. Yeah, I want a whole course at the back, so we're definitely gonna make up like a circuit for sure.
Can I just say last thing on your car?
Yeah.
This is just nostalgia. Why I brought up Need for Speed Underground 2 is because Bride is now riddled through your car.
Yeah, that's
and
right,
Bride I put Bride stickers and decals all across my Need for Speed Underground car. 2 cars. Like I was just like, this is my shit.
I know, it's a good brand. Like they make quite good stuff. So yeah, that was for the latest show. I actually ended up finding a deal on. It wasn't on Gumtree, but it was on Facebook Marketplace.
Fucking trainer.
See, transitioned over.
Pick a side.
People change.
So I ended up finding this guy, and he had a deal for like S15 door cards and the seats with rails, and it was like a good price, and I sort of haggled with him for a while, and he was trying to sell them, and I didn't want to pay so much. And then he had them for a couple more weeks, and then I ended up picking them up off him. I was like, he ended up lowering the price, and I picked them up off him. And it was just like, I was just kind of like a full circle moment, because at the time there wasn't actually anything too much done to the interior of my car. Like, it had the stock seats, but I did have like a shift knob, and then I had also done the touchscreen. I put a touchscreen in myself as well. That was a lot of fun because I got to do that myself as well, wire it in and stuff like that. So my job actually helped out quite a lot with doing that because I understood it all. So
that shit can really freak people out though.
Yeah.
Like,
I had no idea what I was doing. Like,
yeah,
that was the first time.
I know, but like a lot of people really don't fucking seem to grasp the idea that cars are literally made to just come apart and come back together. It's all just bolt screws, nuts, like
super easy.
clips. It's meant to do that.
Well, the screen that I actually got was just before JB Hi-Fi stopped selling like car audio stuff, and somebody had actually purchased it, and then they brought it back because they didn't know how to put it in. So,
dude, it's fucking weird that you.
So I got it like $150 off it, like a $400 headset.
It's weird that you bring that up, but just speaking about audio equipment, can I just say I was trying to figure out where the fuck the resurgence of like audio in cars has gone, because I miss the dude in the first gen Suzuki Swift with the most fucking sick audio equipment you've ever seen in your entire life. It's like the dude, the dude at World Time Attack. I've got this fucking video. We'll post it up of Tony getting in this guy's fucking shitbox. Sorry, but he's a good dude. But your car's a shitbox. But I understand why. It's all about the audio, dude. Like the air, you could see the air particles around you shaking. And I was like, "Where's that gone?" That was such a vibe.
Yeah, that's complete. I think that's definitely the sex spec era. Like,
I was gonna bring that up.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, I think that's actually quite an interesting like subculture of like cars. Like at that early 2000s, where it was like they were trying to be as outlandish as they could with the car builds, and I actually really respect that. Not my particular taste in cars, like,
neither.
But I can really respect somebody that's like put a lot of money into a car to look a certain way, to do a certain thing. So that's with anything. So if that comes to like time attack cars, drift cars, sex spec cars and stuff, I can respect somebody actually putting the time and effort and money into building a car to look a certain way. Even if it's not my cup of tea, I can really respect that.
100%. That's what it's all about.
I think that's what is also missing with a lot of people now in the car community. I was actually going to mention it because I know that's one of the,
right, that's why we started Car Culture Australia.
So that was something that I found that was quite interesting with like a lot of people, is like they have quite harsh views on your car, but then they'll bring it up and they put a lot of people down, where I like that's my sort of mindset of it being like, I even if a car's not built the way that I would do it, I can still respect that people have put a lot of time and money into a car to look a certain way, and that's how you wanted it to look.
Yeah, that's why I fucking love it when I hear people who do their own shit.
Yeah,
like fuck.
Yeah,
like don't get me wrong, to go out and fucking spend money for a professional to do it, it's still fucking sick, and I still respect the shit out of it. I'm just saying, like the people who like love it so much they get into it, where they are taking it apart and they're like, I have no idea what the fuck I'm doing,
but I'm giving it a go. I'm giving it a go. And that was really cool. So that was a big learning thing for me as well. So yeah, after I managed to get that system in, it looks so good in the car. I'm so happy I did that. Like changed it, and then it can control all the speakers in the car as well. Like go around like the equalizer, so front, back, subwoofers. Yeah, it's sick. Because I got to have music blasting.
Yeah,
like, even though I've got all the turbo noises, I still love to blast music.
What's your go-to song?
Oh yeah.
Driving in, I think. So I have a thing about this. Everyone has. It could be a genre, but everyone has this fucking. Mine's metal.
Yeah.
So like,
I
fucking go hard.
Yeah, right.
Like getting into my ute or playing like AC/DC and shit. I know that's so bogan Australian of me, but like I just
feels in the car. Yeah.
What's yours?
I think at the moment I've actually been getting a lot more into like heavy metal music as well.
Yeah.
And like,
my God,
I like that genre as well now. But also like I do like a lot of like hip hop and stuff like that. So I did listen to a bit of rap and stuff like that in my car because I just feel like I feel like a.
But what's the go-to? Like this first song that comes to your head, you're like, oh yeah, this shit's I'm gonna fucking spin out of here.
Like absolutely G's me up. I would probably say I really, really like a song called by Big Ma. She does sick songs. Like it's like a rap. I have to find I think it's called. A second.
Anyway,
Yeah. No, I want to find it because it's a
Okay.
good song. It's a good song that comes up.
Tony, what's yours? Whilst he's finding
Yeah.
it,
Oh my!
Britney Spears.
I do love that. But no, especially when there's a big group going out, and then I think this hits everyone. The Tokyo Drift song comes on.
Yeah,
Especially when you're with
that's
your
good.
group, you're the sickest cunts on the road. There's a whole group of you.
Our producer's happy.
W in the chat. W in the chat.
Yep. And then you're like, everyone's looking at you. You think you're at the top of the world, but people are like,
To be fair, Fast and Furious soundtracks go hard. 1 through 3.
Well, they got it down pat. Like they know what
yeah.
they were doing. I think those are like the nostalgic ones that a lot of people got into. Now the new Fast and Furious, yeah, it's all right, but it's not like the same like heart that the older ones have.
It's not the same.
I think our era was Fast Furious very set the platform for us.
Yeah.
Like we watched it as a kid growing up, and then we're like, I love cars. I
Yeah,
want to
yeah.
be like them. I could rob a
They made
semi-trailer.
It's got sick car. Yeah.
Bro, I remember like my first time like realizing how much I fucking love cars. And I just remember so I was obsessed with like just sedans and saloons. I just loved that look. It didn't have to have a wing or anything. I was just obsessed. My parents had like this old Lexus IS 250 or whatever it was. But I just loved the shape of it. And then I remember, oh man, I must have been like fucking 5 or 4 or whatever. And I was playing Need for Speed on like fucking old Windows 95. And I was playing it must have been the first or second Need for Speed game, and I just remember they had all these fucking sick concept cars. Like I'm talking everything from Jag to Ferrari to made up Brent, but they were all concept cars. They weren't necessarily real cars. I think everything was the only real car was Ferrari because that was like the front of the game. It was like the old F50 or whatever it was. Like it was fucking sick. And I just remember getting into that, and I was like, I just fucking love this shit. And it had the best soundtrack. It had that classic 90s like dance era background music sound. And I was like, this is my shit. Like this is where it's at. And then Need for Speed kept getting better. Underground 1 and 2 came out, and I was like, I know exactly what I'm doing. And then when I was 8, I fucking met Peter Brock. Oh, right. And I was like, I just remember him smelling like cigarettes and whiskey and all that type of shit. And it was at Wakefield. Like that was like, this is like ages and ages and ages ago.
You're right.
And he was surrounded by girls and people. And like, he was just, I swear to God, he's already drunk. And I was just like, I was just obsessed with what was going on. There was these big fucking trucks, race cars everywhere, like the old school V8 supercars. And I was like, this is fucking amazing.
Yeah, it's
like,
very
how do I
cool.
do this?
Yeah.
And I always yell, I just think back, I don't have a problem with my parents, but I was just like, oh, why don't you make me get into go-karts and then I could do this or do that.
Big regrets, but that's all right. Yeah. Oh well. Yeah, where's the soundtrack for that? Oh, we can have a chat about my motorbike.
bike.
Yeah, so I got that bike as well. So I got a Yamaha 2010 Yamaha 650 custom. So it's actually a pretty cool bike. It's a bit more of a Harley style bike. So that and I actually really enjoyed that. That actually got sent up to Queensland and got built by a group of guys called Nightcraft Bobber Bikes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So they do quite a cool job up in Queensland. So they stripped down, repainted the bike. It's like a black bike. It's got huge handlebars, custom exhaust, couple other little bits and pieces like headlight, side indicators, and all the sort of little bits and bobs that you can do to a bike.
Yeah.
And it has been tuned for the exhaust as well. Because if you start messing around with the pod filters and stuff with bikes, they can run pretty shit if they're not tuned and stuff properly.
Yep.
So that was a really good buy as well because that was on Gumtree. So and I honestly I got a great deal on the bike as well. So I think leading into the future though, I'm definitely gonna end up selling the bike because I don't have as much love for it as the car.
Yeah.
But the bike is still fucking sick.
It was a day I remember you.
Yeah. I brought
You told me
over
about it.
Yeah, and then I brought it around a couple of times as well.
And then if people know about me, I sit in the office, I'm on the computer pretty much all day long. Every now and then I'm in the workshop.
yeah, and then
And then this guy's just outside the front, revving the shit out of this bike. And I was like, who's this? And the only person I know
Who's
would
this
do
dickhead?
it would be you. You do it to
this
your bikes
dickhead?
and cars. And I was
Yeah.
like, here he is, the show of his bike.
Yeah.
And I'm a person where I always wanted to get into bikes. Like my mom, he loves his bikes, but
Yeah.
it's like, not in Australia. And I can't trust myself on one.
Yeah, it is a little bit like some people like I've talked to, and like I'm just like, you would kill yourself on a bike.
Exactly. It's
Because
like-
you just go, you make one mistake on a bike and
Yep.
you are stuffed, dude.
Like, you can't. It's not like on a car, as soon as you lose control, you can hook it back. On a bike, it's like, you're gone.
No, you're
It's
gone.
meat on
You
metal. That's it. Not
Yeah,
metal
you
on
make
meat.
you make one mistake on a motorbike, and it actually doesn't even need to be you, because there's other motorists and stuff, and if they do something weird or a rock or something flicks up,
What is speed?
It's okay. You don't have to talk to me. God, what a relief. Tony, you have fantastic bathrooms.
that was a good one. So we're just chatting about bikes and stuff like that. My
Bikes?
yeah, my motorbike.
Road killers.
Yeah.
Would let me guess. Hang on. Kawasaki Ninja.
No. Big
No.
cruiser bike. Big cruiser bike.
Oh, okay.
It's a.
Yeah.
When he told me he bought the bike, I was very surprised to hear what it was. I was
Yeah.
like, he's trying to get his car back on the road. This is when the car was
Yeah,
off the road, and we were
yeah.
doing work on it.
Yeah.
And that, and it's like, I know there's a lot of bills to pay, but I also just bought a bike.
Yeah, that's right. I was just like, I got enough money. Let's buy a motorbike. Because I didn't have I've got a work van, but I didn't have anything else while my car was getting built. So I was like, all right, I'm learning how to ride a motorbike, and I'm getting a motorbike.
So is that's on a chopper, is it?
No. Chopper's slightly different. It's not a chopper bike, because that's the front wheel gets raked out at the front, so it gets pushed forward more on
Yeah.
a chopper. Cruiser bike's a bit more just relaxed, and you sort of just sit in the back a little bit more, you know, and a bit more of the Harley sort of style as well. And I do like those sort of style bikes, but like I'm not dropping like 30, 50 grand on a bike. I think some people do, and they love the Harleys and stuff like
Yeah.
that. I would in the future possibly get that, but at the moment it wasn't what I wanted.
I do
Or
want.
whatever. Yeah.
I don't know what they're called, but I know they're called a V-Rod.
The ones at the show, you know, those the mid.
Yeah, so it's Tiffany blue ones.
Yeah,
and then
dude,
it's
yeah.
like the wheel sticks out like 2 minutes.
He got it. He's got it.
We
He's
back.
got it.
We
Yeah.
I think I made it better. I don't know why. That was really good.
Yeah, so those are sick. And then with
Yeah,
me,
so that's they were either the V rods
V-rods,
or
right,
they were
yeah.
the night rods or something like that. Yeah, there's a couple different ones that are the bigger bikes that weigh. Dude, those were things weigh like a fucking ton.
yeah, they're the wedding bikes. Everyone's gonna have one.
Yeah, that's right. The lead bikes. They are. Dude, they are. All the Lebanese guys, they all like, oh my God, baby, come check out my V-Rod. That's what they say. They're sick, though. They're fucking awesome.
That
dude.
is just a reel in itself.
Yeah, I love it. You're gonna be hit up soon, not for hate. They're just gonna be like, yeah, bro, that's exactly it.
Yeah,
Not
I
even-
don't blame him.
That's the personality he's selling.
Oh my God, brother, come check it out. We're going to get a kebab. We're going to ride the V-Rods. Take it out. Get the missile on the back.
He's driving for the La Perouse. He's just like,
No, it's Brighton Lassant. Yeah, Brighton
whatever the
Lassant.
fuck it's called.
That's near the airport. That's
Yeah.
where they go. That's
Yeah.
where they are. I see them ripping past. They're sick, though. But
they are sick.
They are, dude. But they cost like legit like 50, 60 grand. And
they're
the
up
guys
there.
that do them up as well, they drop so much money on them. Because they're all like normally the ones that you go out and you see cruising, they're on air suspension. They got custom wheels, custom paint.
They're like
and then they're
chrome-plated.
tuned. They're tuned.
The designs on them are fucking hectic half the time when I see them.
Yeah.
They're nuts.
Yeah, that's another thing as well. Like guys end up spending the money and getting like there's a couple different genres of like motorbike guys. So the guys that get all the airbrush tanks and they'll get like they normally do like either like a killer clown or something or skulls or like some naked ladies or something and they get them airbrushed on, which is quite another particular way of people that like to modify their cars. But somebody's obviously spent a shitload
ton
of
of money.
money to get some custom airbrushing done. I wouldn't even know how much something like that.
It's kind of like the
30
sex
grand.
spec life. Like they've got their
Yeah,
own
yeah,
group,
yeah.
and it's like expressing what they like. And
That's
it's like
right.
art.
Yeah, that's right. And I like that with cars and motorbikes that people show different ways.
I'm just scared of them, bro. Like you do anything wrong, you're dead.
Yeah, I don't blame that. Like, and
They're just sick. Just
yeah,
They are sick.
Yeah, but bikes.
Fuck
yeah,
electric cars. Have you ever been on a motorbike? They've been around for fucking decades.
Yeah,
they go like a fucking bat out of hell.
yeah, dude, they rip. But I really do. I do like motorbikes, but I think just at the time for where I am, I will be selling my bike coming up. So if anybody wants it, they can hit me up on Gumtree.
Head over to Car Culture Australia.
Yeah.
We'll put it up on the website.
Yeah. No, we'll see. We'll see. But
I want that royalty.
Yeah, you want the royalty checks? Yo, raffle.
Oh, fuck me, dead. No. We're never doing that.
Nah.
We're not ever doing that. We'll do giveaways, but there's no,
Giveaways as in, you could donate the bike to me. I'll ride it when you're overseas, make sure it's running and service it.
we might give away shit in like a series of a YouTube, but we're not fucking doing raffle tickets. No.
Yeah, no, it's pretty full. Here you need to be, you actually don't get that money that people send you in. You actually need to be a charity.
Yeah, bro, there's loopholes for days, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't
We
know.
won't delve into this. Is way out of our realm.
yeah. But we
The competition out there.
Yeah.
Like the other day, he sent me one raffle, and then the next thing, my whole entire Facebook feed
it's
is
gnarly.
cars that you can win. S2000s, R32, 34s.
It doesn't help in the group chat that we were also talking about.
Yeah, and then we're all sharing it. We share one, and then
We're getting into the.
I don't know.
Getting into raffle.
I don't know if I want to give it away, but I don't know if I'm going to release it, but I've been working on an episode about giveaways in Australia, and I just don't know if I. It's not bad. I'm not shitting on anyone. I'm just
underbelly.
No. It's more like a maths and science episode.
Of winning, like trying to win one of the
Yeah,
raffles.
like,
Yeah,
I'm
right.
just-
that could be an interesting.
Yeah, no. It's got nothing to do with hate. It's just like I'll blatantly show them all in the limelight, and I'll be like, "This is what you could do if you did X, Y, Z."
I'm definitely tuning in for that one. I need to find out how to win some of these cars, dude.
I'm not saying I'm not telling you there's a secret formula to winning. There's no fucking secret formula to winning. I'm just saying,
Where's
like,
the formula, crabs?
You can be smart about it and like not
Hypothetically.
not give in to certain things.
Ah, right. Okay.
Yeah. But I don't know if I'm going to release it. I don't know.
Okay. So see how we go.
Can I just say, though, on the topic of motorbikes before we leave it?
Yeah.
And the only reason why I brought up the Kawasaki Ninja before, no offense, you look like a dude who would drive a fucking Kawasaki Ninja.
Do I?
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny, dude.
Only because you have the energy.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
You look like you-
Kawasaki energy, like, holy fuck.
Yeah, you look like you want to get on that bike and just fucking.
Nah, he's the swole dude. He's the one on the chopper bikes with the short pants, the footy pads on with the singlets, with the song. He's like, yeah, bro.
I really bring out the inner Leb in me for sure. I'm not Lebanese, but
Aren't you?
no.
Couldn't tell.
You all look the same to me.
Oh, fuck. Here we go.
Yo, cancel him. No, but
He can get away with that shit.
yeah, true. But no, I did hop on a couple more of the different sports bikes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But because of my stature, they weren't comfortable. Literally, I don't know how people do it that ride.
Do you mean because you're so fucking massive?
No, it's more like balls.
My shoulders are
It's
wide.
like-
I need the handlebars out here, not
I
in
need
here.
them like this. No, but literally, like I would sit on them, and I think a lot of guys would get like this unless you're Tom size. Like it was hard to like actually stand on the ground comfortably and stuff like that. And also just how I fit on the bike. It wasn't a good fit. I didn't feel comfortable.
Fair enough.
Yeah. And then I hopped on my bike, which is a cruiser bike, and I just felt right at home. Like it's a lot more relaxed. Like you're not having to I don't really get a sore back. You're not leaning, you're not like hunching forward, and
That's the thing that would kill me too.
yeah, I'm sitting back in quite a relaxed position. My arms just sit straight out like that, and my legs are like splayed out. I actually got a mate, and he says I look like it's called the prawn mobile because it's like how you sit is like to the side, legs are like out like this because it's got peg extensions, so like the actual foot controls are like push forward, so your feet are stretched out.
Out of context, whenever you tune into this, it looks like you're talking about something completely different.
Yeah, like the side
The prawn position and then pegging.
Yeah. Hey, PG. No, but I think I got a couple other mates that ride those sort of bikes, and I've hopped on them, but they just weren't as comfortable.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, But I think definitely in the future I will probably get into a bit more of like a Harley for sure. My dad also, he loves all those older bikes. He likes a bit more of the cafe races and the bobber style bike with the seat at the back where it's like not much fenders and stuff and and the peanut tank that they have at the front. It's like a very small tank, and like the handlebars that go up and stuff like that. He loves that. So I was checking out.
It's a vibe.
It's again another subculture of like the bike guys actually have a lot more. I think I don't know if a lot more, but they definitely have quite a few subcultures as well with different bikes and like different subcultures within like different ranges of bikes as well. Sports bikes, especially all the cruiser bikes, like all the Harleys have different categories for different style bikes and stuff. And like as anything, like you look, if you have this bike, this is what you do sort of thing. Like it's that sort of like subgenre of stuff like that as well, which can be said about the car guys, like guys that drive around in Holdens or guys that drive around in the VL turbos and stuff like that, you know, and the Japanese guys that drive around SR, you know, SR20s on the Silvias and stuff like that.
Do you love the dudes across the road here?
Which one?
The bike. What's the bike?
Yeah, the bike shop. Yeah.
What are they called?
Surfside motorcycles.
Motorcycles.
I do like a lot of those.
They got some amazing bikes in there.
They've got very cool bikes. I do have as well. Those guys are really cool. So when they had a bar there, I went in there and checked it all out.
They're trying to bring that back.
Are they? Oh, that'd be sick.
Where we just ate, like the whole ordeal of like coming here before we do the show is like try a CCA burger and all that type of shit. The guy who owns that is trying to get his liquor license so he can then do the same thing that was there.
That was such a great idea.
Oh, it's gnarly.
Very cool. Yeah, very cool. And they've got tons of like different sports bikes and stuff in there, and very cool old vintage bikes as well, which is another, you know, subculture as well with bikes, just being like vintage old bikes as well.
Yeah. Do you watch that show with Keanu Reeves? No, not Keanu Reeves. The fucking dude from Walking Dead. Whatever. I only just found out this was a thing, and it's got like 7 seasons to it.
You're right.
It's the fucking long-haired dude from Walking Dead. I don't know.
Yeah, I've seen that.
I don't know what his name is.
I've forgotten what it's called.
I don't know what his name is, but it's actually fucking sick. So they go across like all different fucking parts of the world, which I feel like we should do that as a series. Like, let's just go across Australia, meeting all these different car clubs, cruise tracks, everything. We just do a thing with different people.
That's a great idea.
And we just go from one point to the next, and it's just one episode after the other.
Yeah, dude.
That'd be fucking sick.
That'd be very cool.
Yeah.
We'll have a think about
We'll go from one racetrack to the next racetrack.
That would be sick.
I'm fucking giving away ideas here,
okay, guys,
Fucking dropping that new shit.
Yeah.
We're not working on that right now.
Back burner. It's on the rotating.
Patented 2023 car culture show.
Yeah, no, that would be very cool. That'd be very cool. But I think that what were we talking about just before?
The bike shop.
The bike shop, yes. The bike shop having the plans to do the bar as well. Very cool. I always thought that was great.
Yeah.
And then I also have a lot of my dad's friends as well. He actually builds like old vintage racing bikes as well. There's a brand called Aprili motorbikes. So that's actually like Italian motorbikes. It's a bit more of an old school one, but he builds them and he works for Yamaha and stuff like that. So that's another subgenre of like bikes as well that I got exposed to when I was little as well.
You could just get so lost.
I've got so many stories about cars and motorbikes and stuff. It has really been a big part of my life.
I guess we have to bring it back on the part 2.
Yeah, no, I'd
Part 2, but in depth into bikes.
Yeah.
But on car culture.
Oh well, sorry. Yeah, I kind of got a bit distracted on a bit of the bike topic, but
It's
No,
okay.
I love it. It's
It's
got
alright,
wheels,
'cause
it's got
it means
power.
the bike people are going to start listening to us
I
as well.
hope so. You get everybody in it. You know, I think I actually do like cruising with like a couple bike guys as well. We just on our last
we
cruise-
did that cruise.
Yeah, it's actually a lot of fun bringing a couple of the bike guys out. They're not too bad. Like at first, when I first like got into cars, I was like, "Yo, fuck motorbike riders. They're fuck, dude. They're weirdos." And then I bought a bike, and then I was like, "I'm a weirdo too."
You know what they could get though? I know they would never do it because they don't want to tarnish their bike in any way, shape, or form. But having a motorcycle with a low GoPro on it, on like the front fender, placing it there as it comes past, getting shots run front and back, like, bro.
That'd be cool. That'd be very cool.
I'm giving away ideas left, right, and center here.
Yo, just shut them up. Yo, you keep
if you're on a
too
bike-
much gold.
And want to be part of CCA, hit us up.
Yeah, hit us up, CCA. We're bringing
Looking for bike rider videographers.
Yeah, that'd actually be really cool.
It'd be sick.
Yeah.
It'd be fucking sick.
It would be. It's swerving around. They get on the angles, get through traffic.
Yeah, it is good that you can.
It's funny. So I mentioned in like a few episodes ago, I was like, it would be funny if like one episode a month we like have done our research. We've been going out to events and clubs or whatever, and we're going and trying new spots. And I was like, once a month we'll release a new spot that we know of. But we'll get our shots there first.
Yeah, right.
So that we don't fucking ruin it, because we have a feeling that every single man in his dog in Sydney is going to go, let's go to that spot.
Yeah, dude, that happens.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I've got some spots.
Don't keep.
No, I'm not releasing it. We're keeping that.
We'll do it first, and then we'll release.
Yeah,
it.
no, that's a great idea.
Yeah.
And we have meets down there.
But it gets people listening.
Yeah, no, it does. I hope
People
so.
listening and now understanding my hooks. I'm like, stay tuned for when.
Oh,
We
released the spot.
I've got a question. So we're talking about trying to get the production up a little bit more for the podcast as well, which I'd love to see, like getting this a little bit more set up properly, because we're obviously.
Oh, do you like our fast setup?
Yeah, I think it's okay, but there's room for improvement.
Absolutely.
Which I love.
Bro, we did this in a night.
Yeah, that's good. But that's another thing where it's like the initiatives are like trying to build something up as well.
It was great.
So-
It was that. No, we're half the team put this together.
Yeah, so I'm I want to be a part of that.
Well, come here Saturday with me, because because funnily enough, it is actually going to look very different.
Now we're kicking off another series on Saturday.
Yeah, that was sexy. The voice was very.
If you couldn't tell, Tony is going to be the one who's doing the voiceover for the series.
If you know that, I ain't opening the shops. I'm sleeping in. If he calls, I'll be like, "Wait, what team Tony this was about?"
Nainis Masterdashni.
I don't know Chinese.
That's German.
okay.
German? You were German.
Yeah, he was speaking Chinese.
Are you German?
Fuck no.
No, I thought not.
So he said,
Bro, if I was German,
I was like,
I'd be driving a European car. You know this.
Well, I'd be very keen to see this production get up, because I think there's a lot of good stuff, and we know a lot of cool guys that would come on, and if we build this up, it'd be really cool.
I agree. Well, we do have some pretty cool guests coming up in the future.
Yeah, cool.
We've got.
No, we can't give it away, can we?
Oh yeah, we can't.
No.
Yeah,
See,
let's
he's
keep it
bad.
All I'm going to say is some of them are professional racers.
Yeah, cool.
Some of them have appeared at cool events like World Time Attack.
Yeah.
Some of them have appeared at just numerous amounts of things, like really cool events. Like it's there's a plethora of people coming up, but we do this recording once a week, right?
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, why don't we just try doing 3 a week and try banging as much as we can? Yeah. Bro, we're so busy trying to film all this other shit. It's fucking...
Yeah. It's
and
hard.
Work our full-time jobs, because we're not doing this full-time yet.
I know, it's very hard, yeah.
So we're like,
That's the thing as well, like where I was like, I would like to try and build up a bit more of that online presence as well. Like I found like a lot of the time my stuff is like, I've got the quality, like the quality of the content is good. But just trying to keep up with the consistency is very, very hard.
Yeah.
As well, just while I'm working at the same time.
Dude, it's fucking... Yeah.
But giggling about...
It is impossible. I couldn't do it without any of these guys. Everyone's sitting in this room, and everyone outside who isn't in this room right now. Like, it's fucking impossible to do it without this. Like, we're a huge thing trying to make this come together, and like we're so close to launching. I suppose when people are listening to this, we've already launched, but like
at this stage, it's like we're still trying to build it up to a certain point.
So
I like that I can see because obviously we didn't meet for quite a while. Like while I was getting my car built, but I could see this being done in the background with Tony and stuff like that, you coming together and then just having a chat to you. I could see that you got a bit of a vision as well for CCA. And I can really see that. So I would love to be a part of that as well.
Well, stay tuned. You might be.
Yeah.
There might be some things in the background. I don't know.
I hope so. Because I do like.
Before you guys go open room, let's wrap up the podcast. This is getting way too intimate.
Oh, sorry.
And kiss.
And hold hands.
There's a lot of touching.
What is happening in that corner? Lift up the blanket.
Not in front of my friends.
Not today.
All right. Let's wrap it up. All right. Cool. Look, if you guys want to follow you, how do we follow you? What do we do?
Just on Instagram, you can go on to type me up and put me in as Bag15 or Dexter.Brent find me on Instagram. And I'm currently going to be trying to build up a bit more of my TikTok as well. So that will be in my bio. And you can go through there if you want to get onto any more of my content and stuff like that. So it's definitely mainly on Instagram where you'll find me at. Okay.
Nice. Oh, well, I mean, you're also going to find you at Car Culture Australia. If you get truly lost, you're going to be here. And I suppose that segues into how you can get on this, guys. If you're not liking, following, subscribing, everything we're doing,
please.
YouTube, Spotify, iTunes, wherever it is that you're listening to this on, just please follow, like, subscribe. That's how it sort of goes up. Comment, share it around, and do all that type of stuff. Car Culture Australia itself as well. Like, follow it on everything. I know I say it every time, but Instagram's the only one that's not fluent. It's just car.culture.australia. That's the only one that's not doing it. But do Where's My Car is, man, it's fully a thing now. I can't believe it.
It is.
It's got some sick series coming up. And, my producers just pointed out as well, and Tony's wearing the shirt too. If you guys want some sick Car Culture Australia merch, like little tags, little key, what do we call them? Lanyards. Lanyards.
Yeah.
See, I know my own shit. If you want a lanyard, if you want some big window banners, stickers, if you want some shirts, man, we've got it. We've even got a website. Can you fucking believe that shit?
Yeah, our website's
This
online.
production value is going up.
Dude, it can only go up from here. So if you guys want to jump on, I really appreciate the support. Because if we can get more support and get more people listening to this and making this thing, we can make it even bigger and better for you guys and actually get more of you guys involved. Like Car Culture Australia is all about bringing people together. That is 100%. That is our whole mission statement. That's a whole thing. We just we try to make sick content, but it's all about you guys. So we're trying to engage with you guys as much as we possibly can, and we want to invite you onto our shows and try and make it a really big thing in Australia. That's what it's for.
That's it.
But yeah, other than that, Dexter, thank you so much for coming on. Tony, you got any last words?
Thank you very much. No, I'll talk to him enough.
Thank you guys so much for having me on, and I hope I can make some more appearances in the future as well. Of being with you guys, yeah,
of course, man, 100%.
I love it. Thank you guys so much.
Signing off. Let's do it.
All right, ciao, ciao.